So, this show already to me proved that it was a hilarious adventure worth watching after its debut episode. But now having seemingly the cast formed, where we already had a great trio last week, but then we add two more to the mix. We have a Chuni, who makes herself seem way more dangerous than she is when she breathes fire, and she's really just like a Maid Dragon breathing fire right there. But then she also has a unique ability of like what she consumes, she can kind of harness the abilities for her, so that's pretty cool. And the personality's cute, it's fun, it's a little ridiculous, so you kind of get a little bit of like, oh, okay, I see where we're going here. We're getting a little taste of some Megami action, we're getting a little of this and that, creating a really fun character. When you see a girl in a wheelchair come in, who you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting, and she has similar sexual perversions to that of Darkness, but instead of actually wanting it to happen, once it does happen, she's like, wait, I actually wasn't going to give you anything. But the thing that kind of ties it together for me, has so many kills on the battlefield, but seemingly is actually useless. She ends up dead, gets revived because she can't be killed, and when we see her actual ability in use, not her seemingly indestructible body, she kicks a girl in the face, and I'm like, wait, you're in a wheelchair. Why is Grimm kicking people in the face if she's in a wheelchair? Are they gonna go like comedic relief where it's just back pain or something? Her curse ability has an 80% success rate. If that 20% happens, it gets redirected to her. But her legs work. What the hell? What's going on? My mind had so many questions in a span of 30 seconds for what I just saw at the end of the episode. And when she said that she tried to curse someone and now she can't wear shoes, thank God that was the end of the episode. I don't know I would have been able to handle more of her for this episode. Without doubt, my favorite character in Combatants will be Dispatched. There's a level of like, it's a mixture of anger, hilariousness, what the hell. It's the perfect character to make you either say, okay, she has that sexual deviant personality mixed with an innocent act, mixed with an ability that could be really devastating. I mean, if she curses someone and says, I'm going to kill this entire town, if she gets an 80% success rate, that will happen if the right sacrifice is made. But otherwise, it would happen to her town, most likely, as I imagine the rebound that would happen. It feels very similar. Like, I love how we talked about in the first impressions, how because it comes from the same writer as that of Konosuba, of course there's going to be a lot of similarities because generally authors have a way of writing characters. And here, I think what makes a character like her so great is that there's a lot that could be really good about her ability, but there's such a hindrance that makes it essentially useless, similar to a character like Darkness in Konosuba. And watching basically a group of scumbags have this really interesting dynamic while you have this kind of like friendship slash harem brewing, as Agent 6 says. I mean, Agent 6 is a scumbag, he admits as such, but when characters in this show can actually make Agent 6 look like a good person in comparison, you know that's when we're gonna have something interesting. There was a moment where he legit was going to switch over to the demon army simply because they offered him a harem. And if it wasn't for his crew pretty much pointing a shotgun to the back of his head, he probably would have done that. There's so many things about his character that is pure scumlord galore. This man, as soon as he sees a demon pop up with big titties, he's starting to take pictures saying, I like this angle. Everything about him is a pure scumbag, but he's hilarious. But there's a small aspect that gives me the same feeling that I had when I got deeper into Konosuba's episode count, is that even though these characters can be scumbags or it feels like they're very disconnected from one another, there is an element of like friendship brewing. Now, not the type of friendship where, you know, if someone gets punched in the head, you know, how dare you hurt my ally. But if a character ends up getting seemingly killed, there's going to be a level of what the hell did you just do? I'm going to give it my all to kill you. But I like how there's seemingly like there's connections brewing even if they fight each other. It's the type of formula where Snow can be attacking Agent 6 and then Alice and Agent 6 will team up on her to make her feel like shit. But ultimately they seemingly have each other's back when it counts, even if certain characters will be like, you know what, that character's really deadly, I think you can handle it, or I'm going to be support. They have a way of insulting and even putting each other in danger, while where a serious moment happens, you know they'll stick up and say, what the hell? Had everyone not known that she would be able to come back, I imagine a lot of them probably would have acted similar, maybe not quite as similar to Agent 6, but in a much more like, okay, we gotta protect her, but they knew like, oh, we just gotta drag her ass back to the temple. So I like how there is that sense of like, okay, you're keeping the cast dynamic that I love from Konosuba, but doing it in a completely fresh way here, and that's what I love to see when authors aren't one-trick ponies and they can have multiple ideas that feel just as engaging and have different ways to function. And this episode was great for that. There was so much energy and life behind every little joke and gimmick. I love the idea of just seeing a character I honestly would say Agent 6 might have some of the most energy in terms of his like overall reactions and animations. I love it when he's like running around and freaking out when characters are mad at him, or he's just kind of being a scumbag. There's so much balance to every little thing he does. Every time you focus back on Alice, she's so deadpan and serious, and I think it just brings out such a ridiculous atmosphere, especially considering like when they get to their room or whatever, she makes a joke saying like, hey, I don't have reproductive organs, so don't even get any ideas. And he says, I can get it up for you anyway, you're a robot. It's the just general banter that goes back and forth between these characters that is just so damn good. And I love how ridiculous the power system so far is, while still having uses for it. I simply love the idea that when they're running through the town and they're breaking apart couples in the wheelchair, he's getting evil points for that. We know that both Alice and Agent 6 have the ability to buy weapons that are ridiculously powerful, but they need to do evil deeds to get them. Then you have characters like Snow, who is just a really good warrior, even if sometimes her weapons aren't maybe situated for the situation at hand, she still has this serious like magical sword fighting ability. You then have a Chuny who can eat and harness other abilities, and then you have a curse user who most of the time probably isn't going to be able to do jack shit, because who in their right mind would say, I'm going to curse you to die, because if that backfires, you're the one who's going to die. So you're going to have like little baby bitch curses most of the time, but you might also have those serious moments. I honestly just feel like for the first 2 episodes, really getting us established with these characters and the idea of the world, where there's a bit of heart to it every so often, buried underneath all the scumminess. But it just kind of gives you that feeling of like, characters like Agent 6 are evil scumbags. You understand that, this world is screwed basically when your heroes are pretty much already tasked at invading the world, and your central warrior here is saying he's going to switch for another harem. You better hope that his harem sticks around, because otherwise this whole thing's going to fall apart. I just love how absurd it is, but how it actually still has an intriguing plotline, all things considered. I can't be the only one who's saying, okay, I'm laughing, I'm liking the interactions, I think they're pretty absurd and ridiculous, the power system's cool, but I like the idea of simply the idea of the invasion of the world, but then also trying to seemingly help this one side, as you then have the demons trying to recruit you. There's so many, there's 3 different people trying to manipulate Agent 6, it feels like, and this man is simply driven by the horniness that he has on a day-to-day basis. The show is absolutely fantastic. I mean, if it had anything left to prove, I think the second episode definitely delivered. I think it's a good idea of having seemingly 5 main characters in the adventuring party, because they all have very different personalities, and it allows for a lot more unique interactions, because had it just been the central 3, I could see this growing stale by maybe episode 4 or 5, just because there's only so much you can do with that many characters with a comedy tag, and given their initial personalities, right? Seemingly emotionless robot, a warrior who wants to get money back, and then a scumbag leader. It's a good formula, but you need a bit more to kind of give it that energy to last more than 12 episodes, and by adding in someone like Rose and Grimm, you did exactly that, and it has me really, really hopeful for the remaining episodes. Great stuff as always. I mean, when you have an opening that literally kicks off with our man taking pictures of women, and in that same episode that you debut this opening, he does exactly that, we're in for a scumbag ride, and I think we all are excited for more. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this week's episode, and out of the 2 characters who got introduced to the party, who was your personal favorite? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button if you're happy new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.